My name is Caitlin, by the way, and welcome to my presentation on the social media campaign Everyone Watches Women's Sports, promoting inclusion and raising awareness through social media. So I am a big women's sports fan personally. I grew up playing sports. I played basketball in high school, and in college I love to participate in intramurals, just getting together with friends to play sports, and I particularly love watching sports. Pretty much you can put any game on and I'm going to love it, and that includes men's or women's. But for many people that is not the case, and that is why I wanted to dive a little bit deeper and do some research here on this project. So, like I said, my project and research focuses on the Everyone Watches Women's Sports campaign by the company Together. This company was put together or built by a few different women's athletes, namely Alex Morgan is probably the most recognizable name. She was on the U.S. women's soccer team, and Sue Bird was a WNBA champion and legend, in my opinion. And the problem that I examined is the ongoing lack of visibility and engagement for women's sports, and how strategic social media campaigns can challenge outdated narratives and boost audience connection. And what social media allows us to do is be able to connect with people that we normally wouldn't be able to, and so women's sports have been able to be introduced to many different people who had just never been exposed to it before. And so my research was really centered on three main questions. What themes are most commonly used in the Together campaign content, what types of posts receive the highest engagement, and how do audiences respond to and interact with the campaign. And so most of my research came from the Together Instagram. Personally, that's just where I had seen most content, and a lot of the growth came from their Instagram as well. And so just looking at like different reels, posts, or stories that they did, and I particularly looked at during the Women's March Madness season of 2024, as the 2025 season is finishing up tomorrow with the championship game. I just looked at likes, top comments, engagement, shares, things like that. And so the most common themes that I found in those posts were representation, empowerment, and fan engagement. Posts that highlighted athletes in everyday settings or showcased fans supporting women's sports were especially popular. And video content, particularly reels, consistently received a lot of engagement. And it was like posts with bold text, like Everyone Watches Women's Sports, had strong visual impact and were shared widely. As you can see on the screen here, they had a t-shirt that was highly popular. Jason Sudeikis and Dawn Stanley are featured, really big people in the women's sports scene. And so what I was able to find from this research was that this campaign proves that people do watch women's sports, and that honestly what we really need is just more exposure. And that's what this social media campaign is able to provide. It's able to show that women's sports are impactful, that they are fun to watch, and that they are more easily accessible thanks to social media. And because of this campaign, we're able to see a lot of growth for the sport, and I look forward to seeing how it continues to grow.